us begin. The tale of the Saint Fiacrius Orphans.
Ah, yes. The orphans.
The year 1863 was St. Fiacrius' home for wayward children.
The unwanted. The foundlings. The alabasters.
The ginger-haired.
It was a strange and tragic story, covered by many of the day's periodicals. Reports from eyewitnesses stated that the orphans rose up and murdered their keepers in cold blood.
Of the 19 custodians, 7 survived.
5 went insane and were committed to the Christina Mirabilis Mental Asylum. 2 went missing. Never to be found.
Never to be found.
The week after the awful horrors that befell the orphanage, an issue of God's Little Treasures Workhouse Gazette ran a story telling of supposed experiments
Performed on the children.
not only a certain portion of them,
The gingers.
the alabasters,
The speckless skin.
and Jafford of head.
The story claimed that the ginger children were chosen as subjects because, as everybody knows, they have no souls.
That's right. Soulless and godless creatures that roam the night like devil automatons seeking solace in shadows.
Gingers!
Gingari horribilis! Further eyewitness accounts claimed that many weeks before the macabre happenings, the gingers started to display disturbing behavioral traits.
They began to walk in pairs. And to watch others around them.
Not just to watch, but to study.
With a cold and empty detachment.
Like a child observing a dying beetle in a jar.
The other orphans began to complain about being woken in the middle of the night. Night terrors!
It was always the same. A soft giggling, a lullaby. The children would awaken to find the alabasters standing in a circle in the middle of the dormitory, facing outwards.
Still studying, still observing, peering out into the souls of the other children.
Night after night they would come, terrifying the normal children, making them scream out for mummies that would never come.
Each night they would appear and creep closer and closer to the cots, like a grotesque ginger game. Of what's the time, Mr. Wolf?
Monstrous birds of prey, advancing inch by inch on a helpless and dying quarry.
And still, the speckled ones drew forth until they finally made it to the cots, wild-eyed and leaning down at the other orphans who screamed out in terror until their little vocal cords snapped like green twigs on a young sapling. And still, no mummies came.
Ever came.
On the night before Christmas,
The night of the massacre.
a peculiar stillness had settled upon the orphanage.
Candles had been snuffed out, leaving the halls and dormitories in a soft gloom.
Distant whispers floated on chilled air, along the corridor and down the grand staircase.
The grandfather clock in the huge old reception room ticked rhythmically, marking the passing of the heavy, solid seconds.
From what seemed like a lifetime away, the sound of an old rusted latch snapping shut sent a shuddering echo throughout the darkened halls.
The grandfather clock stopped.
A window slammed, followed by another.
All latches snapping could be heard, splitting the sleepy dark.
On and on they went, slamming, closing, sealing, locking.
The din became like rapid machine gun fire as one after another, all points of exit were closed off.
As terrified children sat up in their cots, their ear-splitting noise reached a thunderous volume.
And then...
silence, like the grave.